Well, tube. Today we got The Girl with the Long Green Heart by Lawrence Block. Now, if you saw, I read this for GarbAugust. Disclaimer: GarbAugust does not mean that I am saying Lawrence Block is garbage. I'm not saying the book is garbage. It's just a reading event that we do on the YouTubes about books that are just fun. Stuff that you're not going to see sitting next to Franz Kafka on the classic shelf. No, you're not going to see that. You're not going to see Lawrence Block next to Franz Kafka. But that doesn't mean that the stuff's not worth reading, right? And in fact, I have an affiliate link to bookshop.org down below where I believe this is still in print. You can go get yourself a copy of this or any other book using my affiliate link down below. I guess small commission, you get a book at no extra cost to yourself. It's a win-win. So Lawrence Block was born June 24th, 1938 in Buffalo, New York. And he's still alive. Yes, he's like 85 years old. Over 100 books he wrote. That's insane. And this book was published January 1st, 1965. So this has some age on it. Now, if you had seen my TBR video for GarbAugust, I was going to read Borderline. I believe it's called. It's the hard case crime. And read the first chapter. I'm like, this is tough. This is not fun. This is not about. This isn't a subject matter that I really want to read. 200 pages of. And then I got on to chapter 2, and I'm like, I tapped out. I'm like, I don't. This is. I, call me a prude if you want, but it's just too much. Just too much. I'm not even going to into what it was about. If you want to know, you could uh, find a copy on eBay for like $4. You know, it's not a subject matter I want to read about, and so I'm like, I feel like I still need to read a Lawrence Block just because I've never read any Lawrence Block, and he's kind of a big deal in these types of books. So I chose this one, and this one was much better, much better. And so the first part of this, I'm going to kind of talk about this. I do want to get into some spoilers, but I'll save that to the end, and I'll make sure I scream spoilers. That way, if you have not read this yet, I'm not destroying the experience for you. But so this is about a gentleman who is spent some time at San Quentin for some fraudulent behavior, and he is a night manager at a bowling alley in Boulder, Colorado. And he's hunted down by a fellow grifter who talks him into a surefire grift against a dude that buys up land and sits on it. And he hems and haws about it. He's fine. He decides, there's like no chance that if it goes wrong that he'll end up in prison, and it's actually borderline legal, so he's like, sure, why not, we'll do it. And the grift is that this landowner was already conned by buying worthless land in Canada, and so they were going to. I don't quite understand the grift, which is sad because it felt like the first part of this book was just data dumping, and I don't know if I just kind of missed some important details by zoning out or if it just wasn't covered very well. But I believe what the grift was is they were going to find other people that were conned like this, buy up their land pennies on the dollar, and then instead of trying to sell this land to this high roller, they were going to con the man into just buying the company. And by the time he realizes he has, I guess, more worthless land at a incredibly inflated price, they'd be long gone. And they have this girl on the inside who is his secretary. His this big roller's wife died, and she's been you know sleeping with him and everything else, thinking that this guy was going to marry her. But he she told them that apparently he has no interest in marrying her, so now she's waiting to get even. And so they set up the corporation. They do what they need to do, and they set up this guy. They basically had him, lured. Like he was interested in the whole grift. So spoiler. That's pretty much the story. Um, Besides giving away the end. So spoiler, fair warning. They got grifted by the inside girl. She took them for a ride. And I'm not going to say how, so that way it's still not. Um, I'm still not giving that part of it away. But she takes him for a ride, and they come to find out she was playing all three men. She first was playing the dude that went to the guy in Boulder. She was playing the guy that was from Boulder, and she was playing the high roller guy. Playing all three of them. Like she was the queen of grifting. And so my thinking, like all these books, it's always you have your either detective or your bad guy. There's always a girl involved, and the guy always ends up with the girl, right? It doesn't matter if it's Quarry or a Western or anything. All these genre fiction books ends up with the guy having the girl at the end. So I was thinking the entire time, okay, well, she takes him for the amount, and then she ends up in Boulder, Colorado one night saying, "I did it for us," and and trying to win him back over. That's how I thought it was going to end, because the guy has to get the girl right. But I was pleasantly surprised when the girl just took off with it, like to never be seen again. And so that's kind of nice that at least that was a little bit of a twist all of its own that seems to really differ from a lot of these books. So, but overall, it wasn't the most entertaining book I ever read. Um, it was really slow to get going, but uh, overall, I mean, I can't say I did enjoy it. I mean, it was fine. It was fine. I'd read it again. Well, I mean, I don't want to read it again necessarily because I already know the book. But if I'm definitely, it was worth my while to read it the first time. I should put it that way. So if you're kind of on the fence on Lawrence Block, this one isn't bad. Way better than the Borderline one. Way better than the Borderline one. So I think that's it for this one, Peeps. Let me know down below. Have you read any Lawrence Block? Make some suggestions on what Lawrence Blocks I should be reading. And if have you ever read The Girl with the Long Green Heart? What do you think of this book? What do you think about these hard case crime novels? I think these things are awesome, except for Borderline, which is really tough reading. But yeah, I've been really happy overall with these hard case crime books. They're just so much fun. So much fun. So that's it for this one, peeps. Cheers.